Bit of painting this morning up at the workshop, as we do often on a Sunday morning. I'm basically painting up these partitions that we use in our hives. And the reason why I paint them and give them a coat of exterior masonry paint is this. Often the bees chew your partitions if you use foam inside. If you use wood, they never chew it, obviously. But I use foam, stud wall foam for insulation, and if you use that, often they chew it, they just don't like it. And then they replace it with their own comb. I've had ones last year, they built the whole thing inside, but I don't know what happened to the foam. I think they spat it out the door. But anyway, this is what I'm doing today. So I'm painting up a few, trying to get these all shifted. The reason why is because I've got no storage space. And I need to empty these boxes so I can put frames that I filled with wax and foundation back in them. And these are just sitting around in the workshop not being used, and they need painting. Because what I've done is, over the months of the summer when I've ever had a little bit of time, I've put, these are the old frames from the wax melter that were wired horizontally, and I've used them instead to put partitions in. And we use a lot of partitions when we're making nucs, because we go from 6 frames down to 4 frames because we don't need the space in the box. So we use these to take the space in the box. And as I said before, this is a drywall foam we use. You can buy, it's about €8 a sheet, and you get about enough for about 10 frames per box. So it works out about just under maybe €1 or 80-90 cents per frame to make up. It isn't cheap, but they'll last for a long time. The problem we have is if you don't paint them, as I said before, they do this. So I get, like when it's quiet in the winter, I like to give them a coat of paint. So this is a brand new one. I made this a long time ago because I haven't actually got any staples in this one, but I staple them as well along the bottom and also up the sides. So it's just an exercise to show you that kind of what we do when we have some spare time. Not that I've got spare time, but this is a job that needs doing. It's one of the first jobs, and because beekeeping is moving boxes from one place to another, to use that box for something else, I need these boxes here. So these boxes are actually cauliflower crates that they use in the agricultural industry that we just pick up where we can because they're brilliant at carrying frames, and they take 10 frames or 9 frames of partitions, but 10 frames of foundation. It's quite nice in here. Got plenty of wood for the winter, the fire's lit, and this is the best place to be for me. So this is often what we do. So I'm using a Sandtex masonry paint. It's a smooth exterior one. I don't mind plugging it. It's a good product. It's cheap. It lasts a long time. And when I've got these painted, the bees won't chew it. And that's all there really is to say. You can see I've kept a couple of frames to show you what the bees do to it. They do start to propolize it up after a couple of years. Sometimes you don't need to paint them. This is a bluer foam that we can't seem to get hold of anymore. And they do start to propolize it, and they don't seem to chew it much. But the new foam they have is actually a little bit cheaper, so we have to unfortunately paint it. So otherwise, as I said, this happens. But that's all we're doing today. I'm getting that done. So I'll have these boxes free, and then we'll start working on the frames in next week or the week after. So the other reason why I'm clearing out a few of these boxes is it's not that these 10 boxes that are going to make a massive difference. They'll just create a circulation of boxes that I need, because all my other frames are all stacked in boxes as well, but you obviously need a clear amount to transfer one to the other. And that's what kind of been organised all about. It's like you start this catalogue of movement and moving and stuff, but you need to get motivated. And the way I get motivated is by starting at the bottom and moving through the process. And this is the start of the process, that I've got so many frames to clean and so many things to do, that if I want to, for instance, do 10 boxes of frames, which is 100 frames, I need some spare carrying capacity so I can run them back home and then put those in empty nucs ready for the season. And that's what I'm on about. It's just the start of the organisation. It's the start of things. I'm so far behind with all my gear, but I'll catch up. But it's just important that you put into place those things that are going to help get you motivated and get you going. I've been doing a lot of paperwork at home as well. I'm trying to get for instance, my tax declaration for last year done this February, March. So in France, you don't have to declare your tax declaration till May. And every year it catches me out, because every year in May it comes and I think, oh no, what happened to all those receipts? What happened to all those? So I'm trying to catch my toes, it just doesn't happen. So this year I'm trying to be organized. I'm trying to get things done so that when May comes, I'm free to do my bees. One other little thing I wanted just to add on to today's clip was the fact that I've started blogging again. And if you want to catch my blog, you can go to my blogspot.com, which is, the full address is www.beesinbrittany.blogspot.com. It's a bit of a mouthful. I have got the links to it on my Instagram and also my Facebook. So if you want to go on and have a look at that, you might find it interesting. Now I've got the grammar sorted out, and I apologize if you read it before, but I didn't realize how bad my grammar was until I got Grammarly and started working through it. My goodness me, have I forgotten a lot over the years. But anyway, my latest blog has been on my fantastic trips to Hawaii over the winter, and I've got some great pictures there, and I hope you enjoy looking at that. And there's other things, obviously, and lots of how-to-dos on the previous bloggings I've actually done. So if you're interested in that, you can catch up on that as well. But I'm going to carry on doing videos throughout the summer. I'm going to try and make them as interesting as I can and try and be a bit more up to date and try and bring in new techniques that I'm going to be learning and putting into practice this year, because I've got to change a lot of my methods. I've got to control my varroa better. I've got to bring in new things. I'm going to be doing insemination. I'm going to be doing queen rearing again a lot this year, but we're going for quality rather than quantity this year. And we're hoping to really turn around my practices and change the way things have been done in the past, because I've got to modernize. And I've got to realize that we can't just stand still with beekeeping. It's not the same every year. It's a movable feast. And if you want to enjoy that feast, you've got to move with it. So I hope you enjoy all that, and we'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.